Yo, what is good, my fellow gamers? Godsend Killer here, bringing you my thoughts on the Overwatch Open Beta, which you can still play. It is available through the 5th through the 9th, which is the 7th while I'm recording it, so you got about a day or two to play. But before I do get into my thoughts on how I feel about the Overwatch Beta, just wanted to apologize to you guys about the lack of uploads here recently. I know that I haven't been live streaming, and there's been, well, very few videos. And the reason for that is it's just a lot of real life stuff going on that's been kind of mentally draining, to tell you the truth. So my mind just hasn't really been on the YouTube videos and live streams and stuff. But I did want to apologize if you see, seeing the lack of uploads. We just got a lot of stuff going on over here. So again, I do apologize for that. But enough about the negative stuff. Let's go on to the positive, which is Overwatch. Overwatch is a game that I've been looking forward to for a long time, just to be able to play the beta, even just for a day. But this game has been in like lockdown closed beta for a long time now, and it's been hard for anybody to really get any invites to play the closed beta at all. But luckily, one of my friends, shouts to him, actually gave me a early access code, so I was able to play the game like a few days earlier before the open beta was available to everybody else. And I gotta say, guys, this game is pretty fun. If you want to know my answer on my thoughts on Overwatch, it's pretty freaking fun. Now, some of you guys, I know a lot of you guys, I should say, actually watch a lot of Evolve content on my channel. So there's going to be some times where I compare Evolve to Overwatch just to kind of give a little perspective just for those that may not have played Overwatch yet but do play Evolve. Now let's talk about the characters. I think the characters is one of the most important things about Overwatch because it makes the game different than most online, competitive shooters. Now the thing I have to say about the characters is that not only are they unique, as you can tell, everybody has their own unique design and of course background story, but there's different play styles. Now, similar to Evolve, where you have stuff like the medic, support, trapper, and of course assault. On here, you have offense, defense, tank, and support. Now, support are usually the guys, of course, with the name they have items to support their team, but to also heal. With tanks, these are the guys you want to kind of lead the charge, the big brutes, the hulks of the team that have lots of health. They maybe some can provide shields, some. Like Reinhardt, has a big shield that can he can protect his allies with, and other such items. With defense, these are the guys that are the snipers and the guys that kind of hang back to defend the objectives. And the offense, kind of similar to I should say assault from Evolve. These are the guys you kind of want to go up in the pretty much running around, doing the whole run and gun thing, trying to be offensive, getting as many kills as they can to help their team be able to push up towards the objective. Now, like Evolve, and I know again I'm comparing it a lot to Evolve, but that's just to use this reference. Each character has like 3 different things you can use, sometimes even 4. You have your primary guns, you have your secondary ability, you have your ultimate, which charges up during the battle, which is your big attack, and usually another ability or 2. So just like Evolve, where Evolve has like 3 different things you can use, so does Overwatch with each character. Now what's also cool about these characters is that they all play differently. So say you're not in the mood, I should say, for running and gunning, you can play a tank to help defend your allies and be the guy in the front lines. Or you can play as somebody like Mercy, a medic that all she does really is focus on giving allies heals and attack boosts. Or you can sit there and use somebody like Bastion, a robot, where he just kind of hangs in the back in his turret mode, defending objectives. So you have many different ways you can approach this game besides just being the run and gunner. And I think that's the cool thing about it, is that people that may not normally be into like shooters can probably jump into this game and find their role to help their team out somehow. So I definitely have to give good props to the Blizzard for making the characters like that. The character dynamic is actually pretty nice. Now let's talk about the actual game and how it feels. The game actually feels really nice. I honestly had to give Blizzard, again, props for letting the game come out well optimized. This game is probably the most optimized game I've played in a while. It's not to sit there and say that there hasn't been any other games, but let's face it, there's been a lot of games here lately that may be good, it may even be your favorite games, but you usually need like a patch or two to make sure that the games are running well. And especially in beta form, they're usually not that optimized. Can anybody say Battlefield 4 open beta? But this, oh man, just the beta itself runs smooth. There's only been 2 times where I dropped to 50 frames, and it was literally for a second, and it went right back up to around 90. And I'm running this game at ultra, and I know some will say, well, it is kind of like cartoonish graphics, so of course it doesn't take a lot to run this game. But even still, you'd be surprised how games just come out unoptimized nowadays, and how many patches they need to get to the point where they are running well on most rigs. So again, that's definitely a good thing. Now, as far as the game, I don't get no lag, no rubber banding. At least I haven't got anything that was really noticeable. I'm sure there are probably some times where I experienced lag and just didn't know of it. But so far, it's been pretty good. And the matchmaking has worked out pretty well as well. Although it does have an issue, it seems, with friends, where if you try to search for a match when you're in a party of 2 or more, it can become a lot harder to find matches. I don't know what is up with that. Other thing I can say about the matchmaking as well is that there's no server browsing. The matchmaking seems to be pretty well, and I'm sure known that it's Blizzard, they do have dedicated servers, but there's no browser server, at least for now. Maybe in the beta, it's not nothing that you can use, or it's not available, I should say. But maybe in the real game it might be. I don't know what their plans are exactly for that, but that would be nice to have a browser server. If not, the matchmaking seems to be pretty good, but it could use some tweakings, especially when you do play with friends. Now let's get back to the actual gameplay. Now, as you can probably tell already, this game has a huge teamwork dynamic. You have to be working like a well-oiled machine in order to get some victories going on. So this may be an issue for people that like to play solo a lot, because you may be doing really well, but your team isn't doing well, and of course you end up losing. So that's kind of a good thing and a bad thing, so to speak, because sometimes when you can, of course, work as a team, and you can get a hard push going in, and you actually is successful, of course, getting the objective and winning the match, you feel good about yourself. But at the same time, it's like it can still get frustrating to try to play with randoms, because let's face it, not everybody has friends they can just call up on a whim and just be like, hey, you know what? Let's go play some Overwatch, because now everybody has their own lives and things they have to do, responsibilities and whatnot. So that part can be a tad bit frustrating. So some people may be turned off just off that fact alone. But I wouldn't say the team dynamic itself is a bad thing. It just depends if you have to play with randoms versus playing with like a squad of friends. Now let's go on to the actual game modes and maps. Now there's 3 game modes on here, which each game mode actually has its own individual maps. Now I wanted to point this out because you have a lot of games that, well, will try to fit every single game mode into every map. Battlefield being an example of that. Like, and you have cases where unfortunately you will have, like, say a map good for rush but won't be good for conquest, and so on and so forth. And Blizzard took the approach really to say, like, hey, you know what, we're not going to make every map available for every game mode. We're going to have individual maps for individual game modes, but ends up being really balanced. And there's not too much I can say about these maps that are negative. The maps look cool. I mean, they play rather nice, I must say. So there isn't really too much I can say about the maps overall. And I should also probably mention that each of these game modes are objective based. Just for those that may be looking for like a team deathmatch, it doesn't seem to have one of those. I don't know if one of those will come in the actual game, but most of these game modes are, all of them I should say, are objective type modes where it's like King of the Hills type style, or conquest for people that play Battlefield to capture a point and then capture the next point, or guide a vehicle to its destination. These are how these game modes are. They're very objective based. Now, as you can tell by now, that I really don't have too much to honestly say that's negative about this game, other than some questionable character balancing. There seems to be some characters that are just really too strong for their own good. I'm looking at you guys, Agent Elsa, May, Junkrat, and I believe her name is Farah. Those guys are kind of a little bit questionable. I wouldn't say they're overpowered, but they can seem a tad bit questionable. But other than that, Honestly, like I said earlier in this video, guys, this game is just simply fun. And if you have the time and you're watching this video early, I would recommend you guys give this game a chance, especially if you like something like Evolve. I think you guys may end up liking this game. Of course, if you end up playing it, let me know how you feel about it in the comments below. Do you like Overwatch? Is it your cup of tea? Is it not your cup of tea? Let me know all that good stuff in the comments below. But until next time, you sexy soldiers, take it easy. Laters.